I think we've started streaming.
Oh no.
James is going to test if we've started streaming because I think I've accidentally started streaming. And let's have a look. Live streaming. And for some reason it's black.
Excellent connection though.
It says we're live. Can you test that?
On my phone.
We are. Okay.
Okay,
all
we're
right.
live.
We are live.
Sorry about that, guys. And you can't even see me.
Hang on. Okay, all right. Hang on, all this gear.
Okay, yep.
All right. We're doing it live.
We're doing it live.
Welcome to week 106, and
Yep.
we are literally doing it live from
El
Bitcoin
Dragon,
Lake.
yeah, in a hotel called El Dragon. We're right on the water. It's pretty cool. We've got an amazing room. We have just arrived, and yeah, what a hill, James.
What a hill.
What a hill.
Oh, the drive into
Yep.
the Crater Lake. We've driven in and out and in and out. Oh no, sorry, in and out, and the second trip in was way crazy. Super crazy.
Yes.
Right, now we're going to, Nikki's going to pull up our chat
I
to
am.
see you guys that are here. Thank you for joining us. As you know, we do it live, and it's been an amazing 2 weeks. We wanted to show up today. Hopefully the internet connection's okay. It seems to be a bit patchy. Sometimes it's got 20 megabits up speed, which is amazing, and at other times it's being a bit laggy. So
Yeah,
Nikki,
sorry, 106.
that's it. That's us.
That's us.
Open that. Nikki's just
Okay.
checking our comments. So if you guys are in here, which we know some of you are dedicated hardcore fans, so you will be, that'll be great.
It's not opening.
It's not opening.
No
Hang on.
views.
One moment.
We're not started. We haven't started, honey.
This one says we have. It says we're live for 1:40. It says we got viewer connection successful. So
Okay.
it may be kind of frozen for me now. Okay, we're going to upload it again afterwards.
Yep. Are we recording?
We are recording. I
Okay,
am recording
let's
it.
try this. All right, so we are at Guatemala Lakes,
Yes.
Bitcoin Lakes. We have just driven down to a hotel called El Dragon in San Marcos.
Yes.
San Marcos. We spent the morning in Pena
Hashel.
Hashel,
Hashel.
and it was really great. We spent the morning class, and
Yep.
yes,
Yep.
and we just had we went round to a lot of different stores that accepted Bitcoin. James did his magic.
Yeah, we had a great time. So I think we must have visited maybe
Yeah.
10, 12 businesses.
Yeah.
And we also visited a school. And the school was an amazing experience. These were 8 to 10-year-olds, and they were super sharp. So we presented ourselves in Spanish. We told them why we're here in El Salvador, in Guatemala.
Yeah.
In Spanish. We answered their questions in Spanish about Bitcoin. It was super cool. They were
Yeah.
great kids.
Absolutely. So what we thought we'd do today is pretty much have an open conversation.
Yeah.
Last week we spent the week in Antigua, and we had 5 mornings for 4 hours every morning learning Spanish, and it was really intense because we were actually sitting down we had a great tutor, and we just sat and we talked to him for 4 hours, and so it was we were really drained afterwards. And then of course
In Spanish.
in Spanish, yeah.
So he wouldn't speak any English to us. We could ask a question in English, like what is the word for, and he would reply totally in Spanish. But it went really well, so it
Yep.
was intensive.
Yeah, and then Antigua is amazing. There's all these dance schools,
Yeah.
and so we found a variety of different dance schools, and we had private lessons, and then we joined their lessons and group lessons, and then a lot of them had free, like just a free class you could go along to, and it was all bachata or salsa that we were
Yep.
doing,
Yep.
and just really cool to get back into the groove of dancing again.
Yeah. That was good. It was awesome because we've managed. Yeah, I mean, the classic thing is every time we pay for something, we ask if we can pay in Bitcoin. So we've here the currency is quetzales, and it's about 7.5. The official rate is 7.5 quetzales to $1, and but depending on where you buy from, and they charge a lot of fees on top here. So if you want to use a tarjeta or a card, which we use the Ditto Banks card a lot, they will be like, oh, it's an extra 5%, 10%, 20% on top of your transaction to use a card, which is crazy because, of course, the card companies aren't charging that much, but they add it for inconvenience factors, which is amazing because they pass that on to people. As we're in El Salvador, they eat it. So I would ask anyway, the point was we ask everybody if they will accept Bitcoin. And we've had quite a good success rate of people, generally the young people, saying, I would like to know how. And so they download a wallet and we send them their first Bitcoin and we set them up on Blink, which is really cool. We're in the entranceway. We've got lots of people
so
Buenos tardes.
The Wi-Fi is a little bit
very
tender.
patchy. It's patchy.
Tender here. So this was the best place to get the best Wi-Fi signal.
We tried to give you guys a view of the lake. We went down there and did a test for the speed, but it just wasn't going to happen.
No, we're right on the lake.
Yeah.
It's beautiful where we are.
Yes.
I'm actually quite impressed because we were going to stay at the previous place for a couple more nights, and we decided no, we needed to get onto the lake. So it's really cool.
And the price is pretty much the same. So we're paying about $35 a night, roughly.
And we've got
for both of us. It's for a room price.
And we've got an amazing room with ensuite plus kitchen, as well as another bathroom. And it's all stone and very beautiful. So
very beautiful.
And wood.
We'll take some photos. We've got lots of photos from today and from Bitcoin Lake. It's been so cool. Super Pilotish, welcome. Great to see you.
Yes.
And also the beach team, the FSV beach team. Great to see you guys here. Didn't think you would be a show. Oh, we show every week. Sometimes it's pre-recorded. Great that you made it, video and audio good. Oh, that's awesome.
Awesome to know.
Cool.
We've actually got little. Oh, you can't even see. Oh, I can't even see mine. Wrong side.
Steve, if you're watching, we're taking advantage of some of the equipment today.
Yes.
And it's going very well. Thank you.
So please, any questions about Guatemala, Bitcoin Guatemala? What our trip's been like? Go for it. Ask, because we will be heading back. We should be back in El Salvador by the weekend. But it's been a great. This is a good chance to get out. Seriously, not many places accept Bitcoin, especially in Antigua. I think the tourist town is too touristy, they don't need to. Down in Bitcoin Lakes, there's definitely a lot more than we thought. It's really good. We had beautiful lunch and breakfast today. Yes. Paying Bitcoin.
So BTC map is huge in terms of finding. It's an amazing tool. Finding businesses that accept Bitcoin, and then also making sure you put a sign outside the business. And that's something that we'll share photos of. I tried to take a photo of all the signs that Lago Bitcoin had used today. There's the nice big orange signs that stand out, and it made a big difference as to making it easier amongst all the noise where the people were accepting Bitcoin.
And it's a hard task here in Bitcoin Lake. There's only one person doing it, and I think they really need some support.
Yes, they do.
To really, to help out, and it makes me realise, with Berlin having so many committed people, going right, let's make this happen, and getting together and making it happen.
Yes,
it's been pretty amazing for that. Wow.
Thank
you.
That's for Nikki and James in Guatemala. Thank you, Super Pilotish. I think that might be you, 16,000. He says here, Guatemala, cool. Maybe not. No, maybe he hasn't sent it. He's surprised we're in Guatemala. Yes, we're in Guatemala, Bitcoin Lake. It might be the FSV team, I'm not sure. Thank you. But we've been pleasantly surprised about Guatemala. The cost of generally the cost is lower here. the things are slightly higher standard as well, I would say.
Yeah.
Which has been really good. And even though we went to Antigua, which is a really touristy town, the cost wasn't that bad.
No.
And the quality was really good.
Yeah.
And
yeah, it was.
Yeah.
And one of the things I think was really amazing is the fact that it's what's happened is it's given us so many ideas to bring back to El Salvador and go, hey, you know, if you're wanting to start a town, if you're wanting to bring tourists in, what are the things that you're going to need to do?
Yep.
You don't have to do anything, but to make it more pleasurable for people, there's definitely some concepts that could be added.
So we're busy sending Charlie
Yeah.
notes because Charlie's busy doing a business incubator in Berlin, and it's with businesses that are interested in improving the tourism. We've got a couple of good questions coming in.
We have,
so,
Mark.
safety.
Okay, safety.
Great question.
Yeah, we our Spanish teacher told us not to drive at night.
Yeah.
Whereas in El Salvador, we wouldn't even think twice about it anymore.
No.
The only thing is, you know, the people with the bright headlights is more dangerous than you know, actual personal safety as such. So we have sort of told the Spanish teacher, no, we won't be doing any driving. Yeah, at night, because he said it's really not good.
Yeah.
Also, the police supposedly are a lot more corrupt here, and the fact that we are driving with our Salvadoran number plates, again, we have told to be very careful with that because they will, you know, if
we can be attractive.
Yeah.
But seeing foreign plates can mean that you are more interesting to people because you don't know how it works yet.
Yeah.
So we're also sticking to the high tourist areas. We've driven through some areas which didn't look as nice, but that was just because they were on the main highway through to where we were going. So generally, because of the areas we're going to, again, it's this common sense thing, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. We're sticking to the relatively popular tourist areas, which means that we're having a good experience. In Guatemala, in Antigua, I was really impressed when I saw 2 motorbikes pull up with 4 police officers, so 2 per bike. One had an Uzi. He was sitting there with an Uzi. He was on the back of the bike with his Uzi ready to go. And I'm just like, whoa. And then the other guy had like a MP9 or something sitting there ready to go. These guys were armed to the hilt more than we've seen in El Salvador. In El Salvador, they have like
a shotgun.
A shotgun and maybe another rifle, but they're not sitting there like with the finger on like over the trigger kind of
and
deal.
a lot of them have balaclavas too.
Yeah, balaclavas,
so
full body armor.
Yeah.
It felt more intense than El Salvador, which was pretty intense. But
right.
yeah.
So yeah,
it's
that's
one
safety.
of those things. We feel that we've been warned, but we feel that El Salvador's probably, we feel safer there.
Yeah.
And it's just because we don't know much about this either.
Yeah. Okay, Alan.
Hi, I'm thinking about visiting El Salvador this winter. Is it easy to find reasonably priced accommodations? A, what is reasonably priced? B, I'm going to say not really. And the way to solve that is to ask people.
Yeah, so if you haven't got on the Telegram group chat, Bitcoiners in El Salvador, I would do that because you can put in, hey, look, this is when I'm going to be arriving, and there are people there who can recommend accommodation for you. I'm not going to say it's cheap. It's definitely, I mean, we're finding what we're getting here for the price of what we would be paying the same price in Berlin, which is in the middle of nowhere. You can't compare.
No, we get better value for our dollar here in Guatemala than we do in El Salvador.
Yeah.
So depending on where you're going, in Berlin, we can give you a couple of recommendations. If you go to our web page now, at the top there's a button. We've started building a page which has specific information about Berlin. If you're going to be in San Salvador, Airbnb, there are some really good deals in there.
Yeah.
Just be very careful and know what you want in terms of kitchenette and washing machine, and a lot of the spaces are shared spaces, so just be aware of that. It depends on your budget as well.
Yeah.
If you're going down to the beach, it's generally expensive.
Yeah.
Like, unless you're going to stay in a hostel, which you might get for $30 to $40 a night, which is a hostel. You
that
probably
would be a shared room and everything.
Not a private room, probably a shared room. You're starting to look at $70 maybe a night. Now, in saying that, you could reach out to Ronnie from the Bitcoin hardware store. He's very connected with accommodation along the beach. There's also Salva from Tunko Life who might be able to help you too.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. All right.
Super pilotish. She sent it. Can't resist sats. Oh, you're
Gracias.
You're right.
Thank you.
we appreciate you guys. Thank you. Thanks for tuning in. That's awesome.
And Karen, I always wanted to visit Guatemala. Do you see it similar vibe compared to El Salvador people, mindset, similar growth potential?
Wow, great question.
Yeah, it is different.
Yeah, I wouldn't compare them. Well, we do compare them.
We do. We're constantly comparing them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's interesting. It's really interesting.
Sorry. Okay, so the people in El Salvador are generally really, really friendly. They very much, there's always a smile, they're always there to help you. They're, constantly.
Yeah.
Whereas the places we've been to so far in Guatemala are very touristy and people seem busy.
And they have their heads down. They don't say hello as much.
No.
Yeah. So it's quite interesting.
So, though, if you look at the culture of Guatemala, Guatemala seems to have a lot more depth in culture.
Yep.
Whether it's the fabrics, whether it's the cacao, whether it's the coffee, the
coffee.
pottery, whether it's the dance.
Yeah.
You know, Antigua was amazing when it came to, again, it depends on what you like, but, the dance was awesome. Whereas we can't really get that unless we live in the main city or San Salvador. You can't get that in El Salvador as much.
Yeah.
So it really depends. Bitcoin side of things, Bitcoin Lakes, what's his name? Eliza is doing an amazing job. I mean, there was a team before him who got stuck in, and they got a lot of people on board. Eliza's there, doing it himself and really trying to get more people on board. He's at the schools with My First Bitcoin, really great. We went and visited a school today. It was awesome to see, and the kids had, these were 11-year-olds?
8 to 11, 8 to 10, 8 to 11.
Learning Bitcoin, and they had such good questions for us. It was awesome.
It was so cool.
Yeah, that was really, really great. So
awesome.
yes, there's around the lake there is the Bitcoin, but it's hard. Like we're coming from Berlin, where everybody knows Bitcoin in
Pretty
Berlin.
Spoiled.
Yeah. They may not accept it, but they know it. Whereas here, they
so many people. I'll ask them in Spanish, acceptar Bitcoin, and they're like, "Sí," and I'm like, "En serio?" And they're like, they have to double check, and they're like, "Perdón," and I'm like, "Acceptar Bitcoin," and they're like, "Okay," like they don't know what it is, or they don't know the word, they don't understand it. I explain it, and then they're like, "Ah, no, solo tarjeta efectivo," which is cash or card, and so they're not listening to us, which is really interesting. They just say yes when we're making a payment, until I pull out my Bitcoin wallet, and then they're like, no.
Yeah.
And then we have to do an education process, and we normally mention El Salvador, and that is when they click. They're like, oh yeah, Bitcoin is the digital currency in El Salvador, and that's been really interesting.
Yeah. So, and you still have a lot of women wearing the traditional clothing here.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Which is really interesting because
on a normal level.
Yeah.
And that's been really cool. A lot of traditional clothes in the traditional fabrics. That's really cool.
Yeah. So
Alan, thanks for the info. I really appreciate it. No problem. Send us a DM somewhere, and I can send you the links to the things that we mentioned. But check our website. It's down in the links down below. Also, anyone listening, sign up. Please subscribe, like, share. But our newsletter is in the description down below. Sorry for the noise. Got a dude cleaning the ceiling. You guys know the drill. That there's lots of information on our website, our past videos, and everything like that. And we've got our calls and everything as well. So Mark of Bitcoin, do you know what the relations between the nations of El Salvador and Guatemala is like? Any chance of the way Bukele works and Bitcoin adoption spreading? I don't think so.
No. Guatemala's really big.
Yeah, it's huge.
You've got the gangs here too. So you've got the gangs, but you also have got the drug cartels, which you didn't really have in El Salvador. So there's quite a little bit of, it's quite a difference, eh? In what they've got to deal with, and also the size of the country.
Where is it? Hang on.
Easy.
I'm gonna find this for you guys. Here we go. I want you guys to see this dude is busy cleaning the ceiling live. We're doing it live, guys.
Yeah.
Hang on.
That's it.
This is the beautiful surrounding we're in.
Yeah.
I mean, Nikki, not the plants. But, yeah,
Yeah.
it's awesome.
So I don't know. We did meet one of the ministers, the Guatemala ministers. We went out for dinner with him one time. It was just before the elections, but there was a bit of a corrupt election went on.
Yeah.
Was it last year? It must have been last year. Not sure, really. Just keep going.
I have a thing for background noise because of our life at the beach.
So the strolling roller. Hello, friends.
Oh, we're
Hello.
missing you.
We're
We're missing you. The show did not go smoothly without you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we literally arrived in and put everything down and set up to do the show this afternoon. So thank you guys for coming in, ask questions. We're skipping the normal stuff.
But the strolling roller, we're going to video our room for you to see what we're paying at $35 or $35 a night here. You will be impressed. Yeah.
Berlin does not stand a chance at the prices they're charging versus the quality here.
And we are right on the lake. Seriously, we walk down the grass with the hotels on the lake. Yeah.
It's really cool.
I suppose one thing though, they don't accept Bitcoin.
Yeah, they don't accept Bitcoin.
No.
We've had a lot of fun with Bitcoin today. It's been good. We got a few new people downloading wallets, which was really good. We've taken videos, photos. It's good. Limpio live. Yeah. You know how we roll, mate. It's all live.
At least they were just before hammering stones.
Yeah.
They're breaking stones up with a hammer. Yep.
Yeah,
So we've
chisel.
missed that now.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah. Any other things, differences we've found? I think definitely the cultural side of things.
Yep.
There's a lot of the weaving. Like we went to on the way here, or yesterday, we went to a town, and all they did was make leather goods. Yeah. Leather boots, leather hats, leather jackets, leather bags, leather shoes. Just every single shop was leather.
Yeah.
So that's pretty amazing. So you sort of go into a town and that's all they do. Another town specialised in the weaving and the traditional weaving, and that was really lovely to go and see the museum of these cloths that were over 100 years old and costumes, and hearing the stories about that. We went to a chocolate town that they make their specialties in chocolate.
Yeah.
So it's been really interesting seeing that side of things, which you don't see in El Salvador. I'm sure they can bring it. I'm sure it can happen. And again, they've only just been able to really open up their doors for tourism, and so for them to come in, to sort of create these sorts of things, it does take time.
Yes.
But it's really impressive.
Something about the climate. It's cooler. It's
cold, yeah.
We're generally higher. I mean, we're not on the coast. Antigua, wow. We really enjoyed Antigua on a lot of levels. Colonial town, the cost of living there is relatively good for what you're getting.
Food was amazing.
Yeah, great food.
Yeah.
Great experience. We found we could communicate in Spanish there a lot easier because people were trained to speak slowly and clearly. And that made our ability to understand what they were asking in Spanish and respond in Spanish much easier, which was really good.
Yeah.
So that's been great. The cost of living's been really interesting to compare to the living standard. The temperature's been really interesting.
Yeah, it's been cold at the lake, to be honest. Like last night for dinner,
That's one night.
But it was one night.
It was cold.
It was cold.
Yeah.
And one of the other things is a lot of international investors are here. Yeah. So a lot of the hotels, a lot of the restaurants, a lot of the clothing places will be actually international people that have come in and purchased property or created businesses, and they are then selling their products there as well as exporting them. Yeah. So that's a pretty big difference too. Yeah, and so you're getting the flair or the flavour of those countries.
Yep.
Which, and so hence the food.
Yep.
Change of the food, like the Mexican food we went out to the last night in Antigua was
my
amazing.
Gosh.
Yeah.
I had what was it? A super gringa?
Yeah.
A super gringa. Oh my gosh. I had trouble eating it all. It was so good, and it was good value, great quality.
Yeah.
But yeah, market Bitcoin. Oh, excuse me with my noises. Market Bitcoin. How long did it take us to drive here? Great question.
Right.
From Berlin, we did it in overnight.
Yeah, so we did a 5-hour drive up, or 5.5-hour drive up to Ataco, which is the west side of El Salvador.
Rutas de Flores.
Rutas de Flores. We spent the night there, and then we did. It was again another 3-hour drive to Antigua from there.
Yeah, with the border crossing.
With the border crossing, and then it was a 2-hour drive down into Pana.
Oh yeah, and then it took us 2 hours to go from Antigua around to the lake.
Yep.
Or 3 hours to where we are now.
Yeah.
But Guatemala's huge, and we've
It was
actually
close to 2 hours from
today.
Today's drive.
It was an hour and a half.
Oh, an hour and a half.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
So we've decided to change our plan because of the amount of time it's going to take to drive north to do more stuff.
Yeah.
And then we're actually planning to just spend more time here and come home.
We're still going to go to the Mercado, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which would be great.
Yeah. But it is a lot further distance, and the roads aren't too bad. There's a lot of private roads, toll roads that you go on.
Yeah, we used a couple through the city stretch.
Yes.
Which was cool.
Yeah.
Anybody thinking about coming to visit Guatemala? Yeah.
Oh,
I'd do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we've been in El Salvador for 2.5 years, and this is our James's first trip
first
out.
time out.
So,
First time
yeah.
out. So I would, if people are going to ask, I would say, Antigua was a great experience, and coming to Bitcoin Lake has also been a great experience, and just a couple of little towns around the outside to visit as well.
Yeah.
Super pilotish. Any problems at the border? No.
No.
Not for us.
No. What? This way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Coming
Who
in.
knows coming back?
We don't know about going back.
Yeah.
We did pay the police a 5 quetzali toll on the way into this town today.
Yes.
Which was a bit weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everything was a bit weird.
He looked a bit stoned. He looked pretty out of it, but that's okay. But you're not going to argue.
No, he was friendly. He was super friendly. He was a real cool dude, real chill. It didn't make sense on all sorts of levels, but it's okay. What was I saying before that?
The road tolls? No?
Oh, I can't remember.
Yeah.
But so anyway, we're not sure what will happen going out.
We have there are 3 different ways you can get across the border, and we have been told that the one that we go through is the one that isn't corrupt.
It's the best one.
It's the best one. So yeah.
El Salvador was easy. They just looked at our passports, they stamped them, and then we just drove across.
And there's so many guys. So there's heaps and heaps of guys standing there with the Guatemalan quetzales, and wanting to do a swap of change.
Yep.
So I mean, definitely worth doing an exchange with them. They didn't seem to put too much of a price on it, which is great. And we just got enough to get to where we wanted to get to, and then because we had been told that the ATMs were a good way to get more money out and cheaper.
So I'm going to make some recommendations right now. If you come to Guatemala, you can get an eSIM, but it's incredibly expensive. Relative. Not when I say incredibly, you're looking at $40 to $100 to get an eSIM. So what you can do is when you arrive here, stop at a shopping mall, go to a Tigo, get a prepaid, $20, 30 days, 10 gigs, done, easy.
And they didn't even ask for ID.
No ID needed.
Which is awesome.
It was awesome. The other thing is I would get out the cash that you need in El Salvador, and then I would exchange that cash at the border, because the guy gave us a really good rate at the border, because the ATMs to extract cash here are expensive, and I don't know what the exchange rate's like. Then also our Ditto Banks card has been a really good tool. It hasn't been accepted everywhere. It's just been a bit of a pain to use it, and these guys charge like wounded bulls when it comes to the tariff. So they will charge
20%
you
here?
10. They're going to charge 10% here. but we've been quoted between 3 to 20% to use our credit card at a shop.
Yeah.
So do the cash at the border. The exchange rate was pretty much on par. He took like 0.5%. And one of the things at the border is they don't accept Bitcoin. So you're only going to be able to do it with cash. I tried to get them to take Bitcoin for the US dollar, for the quetzales, but they wouldn't do it. So if somebody wants to train them, that'd be awesome. Maybe that's my job.
Any other questions?
Yeah. Any questions,
seriously,
guys?
we're open.
Yeah.
And as I mentioned earlier, if you hadn't been here, pretty much last week was spent in Antigua. We had Spanish lessons for 4 hours in the morning. We had a great Spanish teacher. He was awesome. And we then went and pretty much had either private dance classes or we went and did group dance classes in the afternoon, which is awesome.
Mark, you will not want to come to Guatemala. There's volcanoes everywhere.
Yes, seriously.
Or you come by yourself.
There's something like 36 volcanoes. Seriously, this lake we're surrounded by volcanoes. It's amazing.
Quite literally.
Yeah, and you can even hike up in Antigua, do a major hike and sleep overnight and watch the lava on a volcano. We just didn't have the energy all the time to do that. It was,
Oh, water quality from a domestic tap. Okay, this is a great question. No, but Guatemala is the home of something called EcoFiltro, which we bought one when we first arrived in El Salvador, but we haven't used it because it was too slow for us. And that's because we needed a bigger one, but it was super expensive to buy them in El Salvador at the time. So
the factory's here.
The factory is here, and I wish we had have stopped. Because I saw it, and we literally drove around it, and I was like,
Oh, and they're beautiful, and they're like terracotta, glazed terracotta with beautiful designs. Yeah.
So
really
what
nice.
they do is you have this tank, and then you put in a terracotta pot inside. Buenas. You put a terracotta pot inside, then you pour the tap water into the terracotta pot, and the water seeps through the terracotta pot, and then you drink it. And we've been drinking EcoFiltro water, which has been provided at the accommodations we've stayed at. So, to roundaboutly answer your question, we don't drink it directly, but we drink it through the EcoFiltro system.
Or we
bought water this afternoon because it was the easiest way for us to top up.
And the place we're staying had just a plastic thing that, quite often that's when people get stomach bugs. So we weren't keen on that.
No. Yes, you're right. So, Mark, you'll have to come up on your own. It'd be such a shame not to come up and visit being here. We've really enjoyed it.
But you're not going to fit it in the next trip.
No,
you're not going to have enough time.
It's a big trip. So we're planning to go home, and we're doing an overnighter, so we'll stop in the west of El Salvador overnight and carry on through. So we can do it in 2 days.
All right.
I
think that's...
we're not going to bore you guys too much more with what we've been up to. We'll have a lot. I almost had some photos for the photo thing today. Unfortunately, I pushed the stream button. Tim, I made a boo-boo, mate. I made a boo-boo. I pushed the stream button. And so we went live and we just did it. Karen, off topic, but do you know if they have special pricing for Salvadoran citizens for conference tickets in November? Yes, they do.
It's $21 for a Salvadoran. If you've got a DUI, you've got to show your DUI. If you don't have your DUI, if you've got a residency card, then you get it for $100 and something, but definitely the 21 for Salvadorans.
Yes. And Charlie and I have been doing the Adopting Bitcoin conference show. As you'll see it over there, you can use the BTC Berlin to get a 10% cheaper ticket. Actually, have we talked about Suriname?
No.
I don't know if we've officially mentioned it on our channel. We are going to go down to Suriname the week before 2 weeks before adopting. We're going to give our presentation at the Suriname conference, which will be Bitcoin and NOSTR. They are looking at being the next Bitcoin country. Come May, we will know whether they're going to be or not. So we're going to be there for that conference. Then we're going to be back in El Salvador for the adopting conference and watch the Charlie and James show to find out about speakers.
And one of the things we haven't mentioned really is events that are coming. our newsletter now, and even on our website, we have the calendar. Yes, so we have got a live calendar now on our website where you can see all the events that are happening in El Salvador. Now, certain things change every month, so we do have to constantly update, and people put things on without telling us, but we do try and keep it as updated as possible. So just go onto our website and you'll be able to see the events that are coming up that you know when you're coming to visit. Which is awesome.
There's a slight hiccup to that. You need to go and subscribe to our newsletter so you can find the calendar that is on our website. I haven't got an official link on the website at the moment. So there's a small trick. You have to sign up to our newsletter. I did this deliberately. Sign up to our newsletter or look at our past newsletters, or no, our latest newsletter, sorry, and you will find a link to the calendar that's now on our website. And thank you to Grace for sharing that in the group chat for El Salvador last week.
Absolutely. Now, Karen, I'm not sure if it extends to a spouse. To be honest, because I know you had to show your DUIs to collect your tickets. DUI. So you may not be able to. Yeah,
if you have a residency card for El Salvador, I believe you get a discounted price. Yeah. So temporary residencies get a discounted price. Salvadorans get a discounted price. Yeah. That's it.
Cool.
Super Pilotish Maya for the win. She is hustling it at the moment. Yeah,
it's exciting.
Doing well. Really exciting. A lot of people are interested in what she is pushing and what she's representing. We're very excited about it. So we're going to be down there supporting Suriname as a potential country number 2.
It means James is going to get out of the country again.
Yeah, it'll be the first time
this time we'll be on a plane.
Yeah. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be like a different world. It will be a different world.
Yeah. Okay, guys.
Yeah, we really appreciate
Thank you
guys.
so much for watching, and we will be back in Berlin on Monday, and so we're back with Tim and in the studio. I know it's been used. It's been amazing. We've been watching all the videos and things go through.
Yeah.
And there's lots happening in the centre in Bitcoin City, Berlin.
I'm going to close this out by walking towards the lake, and when the internet runs out, that is going to be the end of the show. How about that? How about that for something different? So we'll do that.
You're going to do that? Okay.
Yeah, we're going to do that. So thank you guys. We appreciate it. This is the entrance behind us, and we're going to spin you around now. And we're going to come in. We're going to do it this way. All right, let's see how far we can get before we run out of coverage. So,
don't fall down.
No. So as you guys can see, they've got a nice restaurant here, and there's the lake. There's the lake out the front. I don't know if it's going to focus on it properly.
Can you touch it?
But we'll give it a go.
Yeah.
No, I can't touch the screen.
Okay.
Let's give it a go. So as always, guys, thank you very much. Appreciate you coming along. And, Bitcoin Lake. Hello and goodbye from Bitcoin Lake, guys. Thank you. I might get quite far. Got the restaurant. Got some volcanoes for Mark. We're gonna see. Doing it live. There's actually 3 volcanoes out there. People enjoying the view. Cool. I got a lot further than I expected. Thanks guys. Have a good one. Bye.